Well, good afternoon and welcome to this week's Penn State Field Hockey Zoom with head coach Char Morett-Curtiss. We're going to be joined in a little bit by senior plus Grace Wallis, and we have a special guest with us, alumni Kiley Strohm. She'll be chatting with us here in a second. Char, let's get right at it. What a weekend this past weekend, Northwestern Indiana. Just decompress us fans who watched that game from Evanston. Talk about it, having the lead, having the tie, and the way the game went at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just so proud of our performance, just from a tactical standpoint, a competitive standpoint. I thought that we just really elevated our play on Friday, and just from start to finish, got that goal early from Kiley, just an outstanding elimination skill and just a rocket of a shot. So I think that surge gave us a lot of confidence. They came back. Didn't play so well in that defensive encounter by Bente Bakers, but came back and Mac answered to get us up 2-1. I really felt that our kids played with confidence. I felt like they kept their structure. There was good communication. Northwestern's a very, very fast team, and I felt like we managed their speed very, very well. Late in the game, unfortunately, when Elena got a 10-minute yellow card, which really surprised us. We had not had a card up to that point. So, upgrading it to a yellow, upgrading it to 10 minutes with 6 minutes left in the game was disappointing, obviously. And I still thought we were in good position 4-2. But, we had opportunities to close that game out with the ball in the corner with about a minute and a half left, and we just couldn't get that done. And credit to them because they can get the ball in the corner in a blink of an eye, and that's what happened. And then going into overtime, being down a player on the whole full field is not easy when you have 6 players on the field. Goalie makes 7 and you have 5 to a team like Northwestern. But I really felt that, again, we had some great opportunities to score when we were man down. And then, unfortunately, Bente got a breakaway, 7 seconds left. And, Bree made an aggressive play. And that was, unfortunately, the end of the game. As I said to our players, number one, it was a heck of a game.
Yeah.
It was a heck of a field hockey game, start to finish. It was
high level.
Exciting. Yeah, it was. It was high level hockey. And, we just, should feel good about the way we played on the road against a very strong Northwestern team. We had beaten them, I think, the past 5 times. I think the past 3 games went to overtime and a shootout. So this is the expectation of these 2 teams getting together. But, happy that they, bounced back on Sunday.
Yeah, and you can tell the combination of their general attitude and whatever you as a staff said to them, there was zero flatness or hangover on Sunday. Went right after Indiana, and that's a good Indiana team, an Indiana team that had just beaten Rutgers, correct? An Indiana team playing on a new field that they're very proud of, and they had some momentum, and we just never let them get in the game.
No, I think us getting that 2-goal lead in the first quarter, just great execution. Gemma getting the ball to the circle to draw the stroke, and also Fia getting a great shot. I think, again, we were in control of the game. Their field's new, so it was bouncing around a lot, and, Kai can probably relate, you want to play the ball in the middle, but you're like, don't pass it in the middle because it's skipping to the poor girl like Elena or Mac, and then they're just going to converge on you. And, we weren't able to really get as many midfield transfers as we're, used to.
But it was a weekend of good field hockey from your team, no doubt about it. So let's talk about the week ahead. This is a big one for us. Obviously, it's Iowa. Obviously, it's Friday night. It's alumni weekend. It's all this stuff. 2 top 5 teams.
Yeah.
How is your team are they still maintaining that workmanlike attitude they've had all year?
Yeah, they are. They just, what has been fun about this team, even last year, every week we really give them, this is what we're going to focus on this week of practice. And they've really elevated, they've embraced whatever that concept may be, and they've embraced that. And so I feel like we're on a trajectory where we want to get to in the end of the season. But I like that we stay focused on what we need to work on this week. It's a lot of defense. You know, we need to have a better presence on defense. We need to be better tacklers on defense, giving up less corners. So that's really going to be our focus today. And yeah, no, we met with the captains. We meet with them every Tuesday morning, and they're ready to go.
Yeah,
ready to go.
this should be. This
Yeah.
is it's very exciting,
Yeah,
and it's so much fun to watch.
yeah.
And it's just a joyous team. They really seem to enjoy being around each other. They're enjoying the work. They're enjoying everything about it, and that's why do it if you're not going to have fun doing it, right?
True.
So then we have Lafayette. That is a quality non-conference opponent coming up here. Talk a little bit about Lafayette.
Yeah, I mean, we ended up beating them at Lafayette last year. I think the score ended up being 3-1, but it was, like a 1-1 game for a long time. I think even
closer
in
than
the fourth quarter. Yeah. And then, and they beat Princeton this year. So their record absolutely does not reflect the talent that they have on that team. They're kids that are really fast, especially in the midfield. So yeah, we need a quick turnaround again for Sunday's game.
And it's an exciting weekend. First off, for fans of field hockey, Sunday's a big day because they can come early, and number 17 James Madison's coming up to play Iowa on our field. So you get a chance to see high quality field hockey from roughly 11 a.m. till about 4 p.m. roughly.
Correct.
So that's exciting. And then when our game is done with Lafayette, talk a little bit about the excitement of the official ceremonial groundbreaking for the enhancements to the Penn State Field Hockey Complex.
Yeah, we're real excited that we can add this groundbreaking ceremony to our game on Sunday. Just watching the construction week after week, I'm just, I continue to pinch myself, and I just continue to be so grateful for so many people that have contributed to the success of this stadium project, and the fact that it's become a reality. Thank you, Jody and Tom and Karen and Kiley, so it really means a lot. And it's our alumni weekend with our alums there. We're celebrating Title IX. It's 100 years of field hockey this year. There's just so much, celebrating, especially as prideful Penn Staters. So, I think that the games that precedes this ceremony will be exciting for the fans. But I think once we get the ceremony going, there are going to be a lot of people, obviously Neely Bendaputi's going to be there, Pat Kraft, Rich Bundy, Kirsten Wood Muir is going to be our honorary coach that day. She's also going to have a few words to say, and then myself. But yeah, we're excited.
It's exciting.
It's exciting.
Everything is very official now. I mean, this is happening.
I just have to keep my emotions in check.
Yeah. Well, but you know what, Char? When you get to the point of the ceremony, you don't. Yeah. It's okay.
It's even before this. I mean, today, now, it's all like
good.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, let's bring in our special guest, Kiley. Kiley played here, 1998 to 2001, 3-time All Big Ten, 2-time All Big Ten tournament, 2-time All American. She helped Penn State teams to 3 NCAA tournaments and a Big Ten championship. Kiley, welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Hello.
It's great to have you here. I'd like to, if you could just talk to us about what your Penn State experience as a field hockey player meant to you when you were doing it, and what it means to you now. And is it different?
Well, I mean, it's hard. It's really hard to put into words everything that it was as a player and where I'm at currently as a mom and coach. It taught me accountability. It taught me commitment, and being a teacher and a coach now, that has really carried over because that is something Char really instilled in all of us as athletes, is the pride of being an Nittany Lion and playing for those that were before you, as well as those that will come after us, and carrying on those traditions are super important. And just being all in, being totally committed in the classroom, being committed on the athletic field. So it has really, really helped me as a grown adult and also as a mom now.
And this translates then into what you're doing now. Tell us quickly, tell everyone who's watching, what is Kiley doing now?
So what I'm doing now, this is my 20th year of teaching, which is pretty crazy to think about, as well as coaching. So right out of college, I was fortunate enough to get a teaching job and a head coach or assistant coaching job. I'm currently at Milton Hershey School. This is my 10th year here at the school. I am a mom of two. I have a son, Hunter, and he is a freshman, and I have a daughter. Her name is Chase, and she is in 8th grade. So while I'm cheering them on, I'm also on the sidelines coaching at Lower Dauphin High School.
And the things you've already kind of mentioned, the things that you kind of that you helped build inside yourself while you were a player here, these are things that have carried over, correct?
100%.
And are you finding yourself, when you're coaching, have you adjusted? Like, do you do some of the things that Char did? Do you incorporate her coaching style into Kiley's coaching style to create something truly unique?
Absolutely. I hear myself at times and I'm like, oh man, I remember being the player on the other end of this. And, you know, that's Char definitely, she held us accountable. She held us to a very high standard as athletes. And that's something that I'm really trying to do with our own athletes. And at times, you know, it can be difficult because of the world that we're in. They get pulled in so many different directions that, you know, that commitment and accountability piece can be very challenging. But, you know, I think with that, my athletes have embraced it and know that this is the expectation. And I'm not going to waver on some things.
Yeah. And Char, you know, talk a little bit about Kiley, the player first, and then obviously, you know, everyone has kind of maintained contact. That's the beauty of your program. You all maintain kind of such a contact with each other. So talk first about Kiley, the player, and now Kiley, the coach and mom.
Yeah, Kiley was a big recruit coming out of Lower Dauphin, and we were just thrilled when she committed to Penn State. And, you know, as a player, you know, that what I remember so much about Kiley, and I can't say this about a lot of kids, and it's not a hit on them by any means, but Kiley was absolutely a player that made those around her better. There are a lot of players that come into the program, they're very talented. Kiley made those around her a lot better. She was a midfielder, she was Big Ten Player of the Year, Offense Player of the Year. She just had skill, but her best quality, hands down, was her competitiveness. She hated to lose. And we always used to say she had an alter personality. Then we call her Wanda. I was like, oh, Wanda's here today. You know, Wanda showed up. But that's what I loved about her so much, is like she was a go-to girl for us. And she, you know, really helped our program in the years where she competed. And unfortunately, here she stayed to be a student coach and finish up her degree here. We went to the Final Four, and I would have like given so much to have her on that field that day, because I know that she would help us win that championship. But she just is, you know, she stayed in touch with the program. She comes from a high school where Sharon Herlock gone to school, Lauren Alloway. We've had a lot of other LD players. So Kiley's really been committed to the sport of field hockey. She plays, you know, in a master's program. She continues to love it. You know, she's got the cutest little girl who she would bring to, when the minute Chase could walk, she had a field hockey stick in her hand, and she'd bring her up, watch us play, or she'd come and coach camps, and Chase would walk around with Kelsey and Taylor, you know, LB's girls, and see Chase play. She was up playing in a tournament last spring, and like, Kiley's got her coaching hat on. She does not have her mom hat on. She has her coaching hat on. I'm like, poor Chase, you know, and she's like, Chase, you need to be going here. You can be better at that. I'm like, she's teaching her as well. It's not like she's coaching, but at the same time, she's teaching. And Chase is, I think, you know, if she has Kiley's competitiveness, you don't have to worry about her.
Outstanding. Well, look, you know, Char, I know you're busy. This is a big week for us. I'm really glad you had a chance to connect here on the Zoom with Kiley. Kiley, if you could stick around for a minute, we're going to bring Grace Wallace in, your number's sake, as it were. Char, we're going to go ahead and let you go. If you could grab Grace, that'd be fabulous.
I will. Kai, love you. Great to see you.
Love you. Thanks, Char.
Right. Hey, Jill VBS.
And we would like to welcome now to the Zoom senior Grace Wallace. Grace, this is her 4th year at Penn State. She's on the NFHCA watch list this year. Big Ten player watch list, played almost 70 games in her career, 3-time academic All-American, and academic All Big Ten athlete, and has really become kind of a key cog in how our offense has worked this year. Grace, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Grace, we've got Kiley with us here. Kiley, Grace is a player who is now in her 4th year at Penn State, and she now she embodies what it is to be a Nittany Lion field hockey player. You can tell in how she carries herself. She's become a team leader, all those things. She's busy, right? Like you were when your career was ending. What is something you would tell her to make sure she takes note of? Something to pass on to her as she's winding down her days here as a field hockey player, to just not forget, or to not forget to appreciate?
Time goes fast. My dad said to me when I graduated, a lot's going to change in 5 years. And I'm like, oh, okay, Dad. But it does. It really flies by. So I just, as the season winds down, just take a look around and cherish the scenery. Remember the fond memories. Enjoy your time with your teammates, because there's an announcement at school.
That's all right.
Okay.
Myron, if you're in the building, please report to E118 in Hammond Hall.
Just to enjoy the time with your teammates, because I miss that camaraderie. I miss the time spent together in the locker rooms, on the bus, just dancing, having fun, and, the what you accomplish out on the field. So just take that all in, because when it's gone, and it's crazy to think about, because we invest so much time into being a student athlete. And, when you walk across that stage and you get your diploma, the real world is the next chapter, typically, for most of us. So just cherish the time with your teammates, cherish the time at Penn State, and, look ahead too, because it is exciting, but enjoy that time.
I will.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Kiley, thank you so much for your time today. We know you're busy. Obviously, you're doing this from work, and I hope Myron checks in. Thank you so much. Are you coming up this coming weekend?
I will be there this weekend. My son has a football game on Friday night. So I will be there on Sunday.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for making the trip up this weekend. Looking forward to talking to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Kiley.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Grace. Off a big weekend, heading into a big weekend. Talk a little bit about your general feelings about this past weekend. Northwestern game was just a high-level, high-quality field hockey game. Yes, you want to win it. We want to win every time we hit the field, right? But that had to have been a fun game to be part of.
It really was. Obviously, the ending was pretty heartbreaking, but I think that was some of the best field hockey we played all season. And I think it was just really great to be out on the field and have that feeling of, everything's clicking. We're firing on all cylinders. I just think it really showed the level that we can play at and how we can continue to play that way in every game going forward.
And it was impressive to see, and this I think harkens to the leadership that all you upperclassmen are giving to the team. There was no letdown Sunday morning. That was an early game on a Sunday, and you just kind of came and you took it out on Indiana a little bit early, and that allowed you to withstand a nice charge from the Hoosiers once they kind of got their feet underneath them. But by then it was too late. You'd established the tempo and everything. So was there a general kind of push? We have to come out hot against this team.
Yeah, I know. I think Friday night we kind of had our moment to, be sad, be upset. And then once Saturday came, we were ready to go. We just wanted to kind of destroy them, take out our anger on Indiana, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was the goal, just to get out there and get goals early.
Yeah, and it worked too, 4-0. So this weekend we have Iowa coming in, another top 5 matchup, 2 top 5 teams. With the exception of, I think, one kind of aberration game last year, every time we play Iowa, it's close, every time, and it's exciting. And now we get them on our field. I know you guys were off yesterday, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what do you envision practice being like today? The general attitude.
I think we're honestly just super pumped. I think this week of practice is going to be great. We're really ready to go. We're fired up. I think it's going to be really exciting this weekend. We're just ready to prove something.
And this is a big weekend here because we don't just have the Hawkeyes Friday night. We've got Lafayette, a really quality non-conference opponent, Sunday at 1:30. We've got the groundbreaking ceremony. We're celebrating Title IX and 100 years of field hockey, and it's alumni weekend. How does the team stay focused with all the kind of extraneous stuff going on around a weekend like this?
Yeah, I think I said it before, just, take it one practice at a time, one game at a time, and just really focusing on the present. We obviously have our goals in mind when we do go into games, but just focusing on the here and now and how we can win.
Now, we'll put field hockey aside, are you a grad student right now?
Yes, I am.
So you wrapped up your undergraduate degree in what?
Psychology.
And so what grad program are you in right now?
So I'm actually doing 2 graduate certificates right now, one in accounting and one in business management foundations.
Awesome.
Yep.
How does that play into the psychology undergrad, and what do you envision doing with the combination of those, as you move on in your professional life?
I think psych was just a good background for me, and I was very interested in it. I think it's always good to learn about, humans and how we interact with each other.
Right.
So I think I'll probably just kind of go more down the accounting road for now. And I think once I wrap up the certificate in the spring, I'm going to continue on, do my master's through SMEAL, or see if I can just get like an entry-level job for next year.
Awesome. Well, that's great. Well, look, I know practice starts in 37 minutes. I'm glad you took the time to be with us today. It's much appreciated. Very excited for this weekend. So go get ready and let's go get the Hawkeyes.
All right.
Thank
Good.
you, Grace.
Thank you. Thank you.